Hi everybody, this is Heather, the Butterfly Effect plant-based extreme weight loss, with another recipe for you for the Instant Pot. And today we are going to be making lentils, and then I'm going to show you something to make with your lentils that you made. All right, so let's start by making the lentils. This could not be any easier, guys. I'm going to be using the little green lentils. They're kind of greenish brown. And this happens to be Bob's Red Mill. Whenever you use the Instant Pot pressure cooker, you always want to make sure that the little thing on the top says you can either choose from venting or sealing, and we want sealing because we want it to build up pressure. So I'm going to take the lid off. I'm going to add 1 cup of lentils. Measure out 1 cup. That was a cup of lentils, and then I'm going to add 3 cups of water. And I know I'm using a dry measure for water, but it really doesn't matter. All right, and so that's really all there is to it. All I'm going to do now is I'm going to put on my lid. And you hear the little song that tells you that it's working. And then I'm going to put it on manual. I'm going to push the manual button. And I'm going to adjust the time down to 10 minutes. Now that doesn't mean that it's going to take 10 minutes because it has to get up to pressure first. But I'll tell you, cooking lentils in the Instant Pot makes them the perfect texture, and it does do them really quickly. So about 10 minutes at high pressure rather than about 45 minutes or so on the stove. And then you risk them not coming out great. Okay, so what can you do with your lentils that you make in the Instant Pot? Well, I'll show you what I'm going to do with mine. I'm going to make what I call a choose your own adventure loaf. And today it's going to be a lentil quinoa loaf, but really you can use any beans or any grains, and you can choose between using sweet potatoes or using pumpkin. So today I'll show you what you need to make this recipe. So we're going to have 3 cups of the lentils that I made earlier in my Instant Pot. You can see they come out kind of mushy, but that's what you want for this recipe. I also am going to put in 3 cups of quinoa. Now, if you don't have quinoa, you could have rice. That would be just fine. And this I did in my Instant Pot also, and I'll show you how to do that in another recipe. I also want about 3 cups of sweet potato, and this might be a little shy of 3 cups, so I think I'm going to add a little bit more. How I did the sweet potato, you could do it in your Instant Pot. It works great actually, but I roasted these in the oven just at 450 degrees for about an hour, like you would do a normal baked potato. But you don't put foil on it, you don't need to. You just roast it, let the skin get crispy, and then peel it off, and you have those beautiful sweet potatoes. The other things I like to add to this lentil loaf are some vegetables. So I have some celery, and I have some broccoli and carrots and cauliflower that I've already chopped. And always onion. You gotta have onion. So I'll show you how I cut an onion. That'll be too fast to make to even let you cry. So I put it in this chop wizard, the Vidalia chop wizard. You know, Progressive makes one too. And you just squeeze it. And it makes a little satisfying snap. And look at that. You have all that onion in there. I'm going to take the onion and put it in the pot that I already have going. And what I'm doing is I'm water sauteing. You know, we cook with no sugar, salt, or oil. And you don't need it. You can water saute and it works just great. So I'm going to do that and get that going. Okay. The nice thing about the Chop Wizard is it doesn't only do onions, even though, you know, it's called the Vidalia Chop Wizard. These are some steamed veggies that I like, and so I've got some carrots, and I do think carrots work better if you steam them first, because otherwise they're a little hard for the Chop Wizard. But look at if you steam them first, they're perfect, just perfect. And a little bit of the steamed broccoli. Bam! So easy. You know, why chop if you don't have to? That's my feeling. All right, so I'm going to put those veggies in with the onion and let everything get heated up. And I'm just going to move you over here so you can see my stove. Let's see here. Get the angle right. There we go. I want you to be able to see the frying pan when I'm cooking here. Okay, great. Get that measuring cup out of the way. So what I have is I've got my onions in there sauteing in the water, and now I'm going to be adding in my broccoli and carrots and cauliflower, or whatever veggies you like. That just happens to be what I like. And this is some celery that I've chopped, and I want to show you how I chop celery, but I don't know where I put my knife. Oh well, I'll show you on another video. Okay, I got a little bit more broccoli and carrots and cauliflower to put in there, and I'm just going to stir that up. And to that, I'm going to add, I'm just going to reach around here. That I'm just adding my lentils. Just dump it in there. Just dump it all in there. It's already cooked. They came out perfect from the pressure cooker, from the Instant Pot. And then I want to do about 3 cups of my quinoa. So you can either measure it out or just eyeball it. 1, 2, 3 cups of the quinoa, okay, and just kind of smush it up, get it all in there. All right, and then finally the sweet potatoes, and I'm gonna, I could have just chopped these fine, or I could even, you know what I might do, I think I will just use the Chop Wizard a little bit on the potatoes. I have my oven on high heat, okay, because my sweet potato is already roasted, it's going to be like easy to smush in here. So I'm just going to smush it on in there and add it to the pot. There we go. And the only reason, almost everything in this is cooked except for like the onion, and the veggies were actually already cooked. But the only reason you heat this up is really just to give those onions a little head start, because you are going to bake it. So I'm adding my sweet potato. And I don't have to cut it first. I usually just dump it in. I just want to kind of distribute it better. But I'll just put this last chunk in. All right. Kind of stack these up so they're out of the way. Okay, and then what I like to do is take a potato masher and just kind of mash all the different ingredients together, just so it really gets incorporated. Okay. And then I'm going to turn the heat off so I don't burn myself. And I want to fill some, I'm going to be using muffin tins for this, and of course these are silicone. You really do want to use silicone so that nothing sticks, because we're not using any oil in this recipe, and so it could really stick if I didn't do that. Before I put it into the muffin tins, I do want to season it. And I'm going to season it really simply with just some garlic. So I'm going to add some garlic to it. Now you could put whatever seasonings you like in it, but I happen to love garlic, so we're going to be putting some garlic in. You know, garlic is so good for you, especially this time of the year, kind of cold and flu season. You want to have lots of garlic because it's good for your immune system. They say that it's antiviral and antibacterial, and it even lowers your cholesterol. But I like it because it makes food taste really good. And I have zero problems with vampires. If you're worried about your breath when you're eating garlic, why, you just give your friends this lentil loaf and then they'll have garlic breath too, and you won't have to worry about it. And they'll love you for it because look at that lentil loaf. It looks so good. Even before it's cooked, it looks good. All right, so I put in about 3 cloves of garlic. To be honest with you, I might even have put in more. And now what I'm putting in is something called Table Tasty. And what Table Tasty is, let me just get this wrapper off. See if I can use a fork and help me get the wrapper off. What Table Tasty is a salt substitute. It has a salty taste, but there's no salt in it, and there's none of that, you know, salt substitute that you might buy at the store. So you get Benson's Table Tasty from online at Benson's Fine Seasonings, I think it's called. And I just like to take the shaker off because, of course, it's ready for the table. But this is what it looks like. And I'm going to add a good tablespoon in there because I want a kind of a salty taste. And sometimes it kind of sticks, so I'll bang it against the side of the pan. That's because they don't put any of that nasty anti-caking agent in it. And so sometimes it does kind of stick, but it's not a big deal. You just bang it against the side of the pan and you're just fine. All right, so I've got my onion and garlic. I've got my Table Tasty in there, and that's going to make it taste really good. Of course, you can put whatever spices you would like into it, but that's just what I prefer. And then I'm just going to fill the muffin tin with the lentil loaf. Okay. And I've preheated my oven to 350 degrees. And this is going to cook for about, well, I'll tell you, I'm going to check it at about 45 minutes. Now, in real life, or if I wasn't doing this on a video, I probably would have let more of that water that I was water sauteing the onions with, I would have let more of that evaporate, and this would be drier. So you want this to be, you know, like the consistency of Play-Doh, rather than, this is a little wet. But it's going to be just fine. It just means I might have to cook it a little bit longer. Okay. And because I'm using the silicone baking muffin tins, you want to put it on a cookie sheet because, you know, they don't have the same integrity as a metal pan, of course. And so I'm going to stick this in the oven. There you go. And because you don't want to wait 45 minutes to see what it turns out to look like, I wanted to show you. So I have one that I made earlier, and I've topped it with some ketchup, or you could use some barbecue sauce. This happens to be some homemade ketchup that I made just using some more of that Benson's Table Tasty, some 6 ounces of tomato paste. about a 1/4 cup of apple cider vinegar, and I think I used some onion powder to make it taste better. All right, you guys, you ready for the taste test? This is so moist and yummy, and you're getting so much protein from the quinoa and from the lentils. You're getting lots of vitamins and fiber from the veggies. You're getting that wonderful garlic and onion, which is known to be a cancer killer. And most of all, you're getting a really yummy lunch or dinner. So let me go ahead and have it. This is probably my favorite plant-based meal. And I like to make this for Thanksgiving. And I'll probably be making this for Thanksgiving for my family. So fire up your Instant Pot. Get you some lentils ready. If you don't have an Instant Pot, make lentils on the stove, or remember, you can substitute any other kind of bean and that will work just fine. All right, I'll see you next time. I'm going to finish this. Have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.